Okay. Well, good morning. We'll wave at them, my little people online. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Let's try this again. Are we excited to be here? Yay! Excited to learn, ready to go, right? And stretch yourself. First of all, once again, I'm proud of you for showing up. Remember, that's half the battle is showing up, right? So showing up and turning your points in. So those of you online, you turn them in. You guys be sure to turn in your points because remember, that's how you graduate is by showing up and turning in your points and sticking with it. All right. So we are halfway done after today. You excited? Woo! Yeah. Have you learned a lot? Have you learned a lot? Have you implemented the things you've learned?
Yes.
Some of you are like, not so much. But seriously, I'd encourage you, now's the time to implement it. And there's a lot of information that I've gone over. So we went on leads the first week and then bookings the second week. Now, I'd encourage you to make sure you're implementing this stuff because right now you are most excited and most likely to implement it. So don't wait. That fear, the longer you wait to implement these things, the bigger that fear is going to become. So a couple things I just want to check in with you. Number one, did you do your homework? And your homework was to come up with a hostess plan. Do you remember that? Did you come up with that, a hostess plan? Mm-hmm. I want to know that you're excited about. I want to hear from them. I want to hear about them. So what are your hostess plans? Because that's huge. And if you haven't, don't beat yourself up. Remember, we're learning how to not beat ourselves up, but how to celebrate the good, okay? Don't beat yourself up, but I would highly recommend that because we want you doing parties, and today we're going to go through the whole rundown of how to do a party, all the ins and outs and the important pieces. But you've got to have a great hostess plan because if you don't have a great hostess plan, you're probably not going to have very many parties because you're not excited about it. So that's huge. So what are your hostess plans that you're excited about? Tell me about them. Shout them out.
No, I just said 135.
100 for 35? Is that what you said, Frankie? Okay, 100 for 35. What are the qualifications to do that?
Oh, 3 people on time.
3 people.
Let's see, 3 people on time, and there's one more, and I'm having early morning calls.
No, it's okay. So, 100 for, okay, get $100 for 35. 100 for free party with me. Okay, yeah, the handout.
Postcard that says 20 each.
Yep, I sent out those. There's a ton, but they, so there's different things that they can earn, different things they have to do to earn that. Okay.
Is that one like an all or nothing? Like you get $100 if you complete all of these things. If not, then it's 75 for 30. Yeah.
Or, I mean, it's up to you. I mean, some people like, okay, well, they do 2 of the 5 things, and they get $40 for free.
Yeah, okay. That's what I do.
Does that make sense? Like,
most of them, I'll give them
whatever that they do.
Okay,
Yeah.
is that on your?
You haven't been added to the email list. I didn't know you were wanting to be, so I'll add you. It's all in the email stuff. So I emailed all this out. So I'll send it all to you because I didn't know.
I'll forward you the past ones.
Yeah, I say, okay, she'll forward it to you because I didn't know I'll add you. So yeah, you guys looked at all that stuff. Yeah. What else? I heard Sharice, you said you had one. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, we're just recapping homework, and that was to come up with an awesome hostess plan. You may get blinded if you sit there, just FYI. All right, Sharice, what's yours?
$10 gift certificate for each person you bring.
Okay. Okay.
For the people or for the
What is
hostess? For the hostess or for the people?
For the hostess. So
Okay.
$10 gift certificate for every person that the hostess brings. Up to, of course, up to 5.
Okay.
So thus, off of any set, they can get like 50% off.
You mean $50?
$50.
Yes.
Yeah, so $10 for each person. So yeah. Okay, so that's be something you're excited about. Okay, the rest of you, anyone? Though online, I want to know what your hostess plan is.
I've been giving, like, if they say, oh man, I can't get my 3 people, I'll say that's okay if you get 2, I'll still give you a gift.
Okay.
Just so that they're motivated enough, because I had my party canceled because
Right.
I couldn't get all 3. But so
Right.
inspiration if they can't get all 3 there, still motivation for 1 or 2 people to host them at their house.
Right. Cool. Okay, so have some, yeah? So
I just have a question about them. Is it better to do a dollar amount off or a percentage off?
That's a personal thing.
That depends on how you feel because if
Yeah.
somebody gave me a percentage off, I would be like, I'll buy that. And so if they gave me a dollar amount off, I'm like,
Yeah.
that's actually gonna save me money.
Right.
Because
Depends on
it
you.
just depends. Like I do the 200 one, and I don't. For a lot of you that use the 100 one, take a look at the 200 one. Okay. The thing is, the qualifications are pretty much exactly the same. The only thing is they get $100 in free product when they collect $100 of outside orders for you, or $200 of outside orders for you. So
Okay.
basically, they work for you, and you give them your profit, which really you still make half because you're giving them $100 of free. Your profit was $100, and so that 100 that you're giving them for free only costs you 50. So you're making $50. You're not doing anything, and they get super excited about $200 for free. And the big thing that a lot of people don't use that one because it scares them, because it's $200 that you're giving away. And the reality is you're not really giving away that much when you look at the actual qualifications for it. And it's a great way for you to make money when you're not working. when
Is
you're
that one
not there.
somewhere? Or
We'll
It's
email it
amazing.
all out. We'll
It's
email it all
amazing.
out, Frankie. So that, no, it's a great question. Hostess programs, you have to have something I said that you would have a party for. And like Brianna said, you have to be willing to think big. You've got to be willing to give to get. And you guys can all run it based off different levels and inventory levels. It also depends on the amount of inventory you have, because if you have more inventory, you can offer more free stuff. And you have more flexibility, but you've got to give to get. You've got to give to get, and you've got to be thinking big, because if you want to be in front of some sharp people, they're probably not going to get together with you for $10. They're just not. You know, that you've got to make it be something that they'd be excited about. So that is huge. So a percentage, you can do it, but I don't think you're going to I don't think you're going to get as much of a reaction. So I like to do, and I like to do. You can do a lot of different things. But I like to do things based off the things that they can control. That I don't think they can control sales. I mean, the outside order thing is really good because they have an amount, a goal. But some people do a percentage of the party, but then they feel like they only get something if their friends order, and then they feel guilty. You know, that's just how women roll. And so I like to do things based off of like, hey, if you have certain people here, then you can get stuff. And then it's my job to be awesome and rock the sales, which we're going to talk about today. So that goes back to your confidence and believing in yourself. So, okay. So hostess plan, make sure you have an awesome one. Okay. So that's huge. That was your homework. And then the other homework was, which by the way, I didn't print off the point sheets today. So all of you that are here local, you're gonna have to print off your own point sheets. You're all big girls, right? Y'all can do that and print them off and track them. Other thing I did want to say really quickly is you are not reaching out to me enough. Okay, I don't hear enough from you guys, and that's part of that's part of the points. Is you get points for reaching out to me for every time you reach out to me. So you're not, if you're in her unit, I can tell you right now, I thought I'd hear from you guys way more. I want to be hearing from you daily. Okay, so love you. I want to hear from you daily because
Does Boxer count, or is it just phone?
I prefer phone. You get more points if you actually try and get a hold of me on the actual phone, because I prefer to actually talk. But I know we're all busy, so Voxer is a great form of communication. So Voxer, you get less points, but I want to hear from you, okay? Because I know you guys are all over, your emotions are all over the place. If I'm not your director, then reach out to your director. We want to hear from you. You guys are never bugging us, so get that out of your mentality right now. Because write it down big. My director wants to hear from me right now on your paper. Candace or Brianna or whoever your director is wants to hear from me, okay? Because, if you're working, like we hear from you. But I can tell you, first of all, before I get into all the training, you're not reaching out to us enough, okay? So I love you.
If you're
I want
in
to
my
hear from
unit,
you.
that doesn't
Love you.
involve
I want to
you,
hear from
because
you.
the people in my unit that are here and the ones that are online, you guys are doing an awesome job reaching out
Okay,
to me
well,
daily.
those of you online and those of you here are not that are in my unit. There's maybe one or two of you that I hear from. If I'm not hearing from you daily, it's not enough. Okay? Because our emotions are all over the place. You think about it in a day, your emotions are all over the place. One day you can wake up and be excited, and then the next day you're like low, or 5 minutes later you're low as a toad. You know, someone told you no. That's how we are. You know, high as a kite, low as a toad. Well, that's how we work. If I'm not hearing from you daily, then I know you're probably struggling. Okay? So there you go, the whole thing. I love you. I want to hear from you. The other homework before we jump into the training is I challenged you at the end, and this is really important. I'm giving it to you again as the homework this week, is to find your why. And I'm going to pass out this piece of paper. Is to find your why, is to dream. What is your dream in Mary Kay? So this sheet right here, this is your homework. I I will give you, I don't know, I'll give you, let's see, how many points should I give you? I'll give you 50 points. I'll give you 50 points for filling this out, sending me a picture of it, and talking to me about it. I only heard from like 2 of you. Your homework was to tell me, or I sent you as part of the text was, what is your dream? What is your why? And talk to your director about it. I didn't hear from you guys. This is really, 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 really important, because all this stuff that we're talking about, if your why doesn't drive you, if it doesn't draw you to tears, if it doesn't excite you, then it's not big enough. It's not big enough. You guys, there is so much power in your why and knowing why you're doing this, and it's got to be bigger than you. Most of us as women won't work for ourselves, but we'll work our tail off for something like our kids, our husbands, our whatevers. You guys, this last year, I think like I told you, like I worked harder than I ever worked because I want to take my husband on that vacation because he deserved the vacation of a lifetime. That's what made me motivated me to work really hard, because I wanted to take him on that trip. That motivated me to get out of bed in the morning. Does that make sense? So you have to find something, and I'm not saying that's what it is, but it has to be bigger than you, right? Because when those obstacles come, when those doubt and that discouragement comes, it motivates you to stick with it even when that fear and that doubt is there. Because we will work for other people and for our why more than we'll work for ourselves. So I want you to fill out this paper. I want you to, that's your homework, not right now, but make a list of other women's whys in Mary Kay. A lot of other women's whys, you know, are their kids or they want to make a difference. Like my why normally, I mean, last year it was, you know, my husband, but then along with that is, you know, I really want to make a difference in women. I'm very passionate about helping women build their confidence and helping them change their lives. And that motivates me more than just doing it for myself. It excites me. And that's why I want to hear from you guys. It excites me every time I hear from you. Because I know that you're stretching and growing, because I know that you're facing your fears. I know that you're pursuing a dream, and that takes courage. That takes courage. Okay. So I'm really passionate about helping other women change their lives. So what are other whys that a lot of women have? I don't know if you're new to all this. What about you, Brianna? Throwing you under the bus.
Well, you already listed kids and stuff, and mine is my son and my husband. Originally, for me, when I started, it was about, that's okay, because then when we turn it back, it has to show Candace. It was about my husband and helping him replace his income so he could get out of the military. And now that he's out of the military, it's more about a better quality of life for my son and for my husband to be able to see the stuff that he didn't get to see when he was a kid. He never went on vacations or things like that. And I was blessed in a family where we went on vacations all the time. My husband never went to Disney World until I took him to Disney World. He never flew on a plane until he went to basic. He never saw an ocean until he flew over it to deploy. Things like that I don't want my son growing up that way, and neither does my husband. So having just that quality of life, and then on top of that, it really opens the door for us to be able to work in youth ministry, because I have a very flexible schedule that I can be there for kids because they need you there like all the time. So kids that are not my own.
Yeah.
Well, and my own.
Yeah.
I love my own too.
Yeah. Okay.
On your Instagram.
All right. So, all right. So I want you to fill that out and then send me a picture as part of your homework, okay? Because that is important that you keep that in front of you when you're discouraged, okay? All right. So those are just some little catch-ups of this last week. Remember, I'm not hearing from you enough. Make sure you got that. Okay. All right. Here we go. Now, okay, last week we talked about...
If you guys have questions during this so that we can keep it on time, if you just write down your questions, then we can answer them afterwards, and it's a lot easier that way. Because I know that questions pop up and stuff when we're teaching, so I
Great
just thought that would be, I thought that would be really good. So if
we
you
got
have
a lot of
questions,
stuff.
have a
We
lot
got a
to
lot of stuff
cover,
to go over.
and we have a strict timeline because we're using the same room for facials today. So
Yeah, and we have a big
write them
group.
down if you have questions. We don't want you to forget; they're important.
Okay. All right. So there is just the precursor. Today we're going to talk about the party, and how to have a rockin' party, right? How many of you feel you have a rockin' party? Okay, just me and Brianna. Maybe Tina. Good job, Tina. Okay, I have to tell you, I love this about Tina. You have to make it your own, right? She sings to everybody before her parties. I think that's so cool. Isn't that cool? Yeah.
I love that.
I'm like you, Frankie. They don't get that. it would make things awkward real quick.
She would leave if I sang.
It would make it real quick, awkward real quick. But she's a good singer. She has a beautiful voice. Anyways, so make it your own. Okay, so a couple things before the party. To have a rockin' party. Number one is you got to coach a party. If you want to have a great party, you can't just be like, oh, you know, and a facial is different. If you meet a random lead and it's different, but if you're having a party and you're booking a party from a party, because that's what we really want you to master is you go to a party and you book a party from a party, and really working at full circle, which when we say full circle, by the way, write this down in case you don't know what this means. Full circle party means you're selling product there. So you're selling product to her. You're booking a second appointment. You're booking that follow-up appointment, and that means it's a party. You're booking a party from a party. And then the third thing is that you are recruiting people at your parties, okay? Then when we say full circle success, once you're doing all those three things at the party, you have a rockin' party. So if we want you getting sales, we want you booking a second appointment with as many of those people as you can, and then we want you recruiting people from the party. That's what we want from a party, because when you do a party that way, it is a really good use of your time. Then you're not running around town doing individual facials, okay? Which you take what you can get. If you're doing a lot of facials now, then you want to turn them into parties. And that happens by you having an awesome hostess program, right? That you're getting her there, but getting her people there. Now, one of the keys to having an awesome party is that you get the guest list. So that means when you book the party, you tell her, hey, you can have up to 5 friends join you. So I need, now if you're booking the party from the party, and there was a great little hostess book packet I emailed out that you guys could look at and print off, that walked her through some of the great things that she can, or some of the steps to her being a great hostess. And part of that was getting her guest list to you. If you want her to get the guest list to you, I would recommend bribing her. So what that means is, let's say I booked Brianna, that I booked her today I book her for, I don't know, 2 weeks from now, you know, that I say, when I book her, I say, hey, Brianna, I'm so excited for our party. And here's the key, is that you let her know that you are in this to help her get the most amount of free stuff. I want you to get the most amount of free stuff at your party. I want you to get that full $200 of stuff, right? So we're going to work together. We're going to work together to make that happen. And one of the things that I can do to make that be best for you is that you give me a guest list of everybody that you plan on inviting to come, okay? Because then I can contact them, figure out what works best for their skin, make sure that I am prepared and have the things that work for their skin. Does that sound awesome? And then that way they're going to be more excited to come to your party. Got it? So see, when I'm coaching her and telling her why I want this guest list, because I want to help her, she's more likely to get me that guest list. And I usually bribe her and say, so if you get the guest list to me, do I make a list? I just need names and numbers of the people that you want to have there at this party. Within 48 hours from today, I'll give you a free lip gloss, a free mascara. Does that sound awesome? Sure. Yeah. So I'm bribe her with something to get that guest list, because that guest list is gold. That guest list is gold to you. Once you book the party, you get the guest list. You want to get it, I'd say 48 hours to 72 hours later, because otherwise she forgets, right? Otherwise she's going to forget. And you have that guest list of, let's say, 5, 10, 20 people that she plans on inviting. Guess what? Even if those people don't come, that's names for you to call. And that is leads in your hand. So that is why you want that guest list, okay? Now, we know if she invites 20 people, not all 20 people are going to come, right? But you have that guest list of her friends, okay? Maybe some of those are referrals that she wrote down on her thing. You could say that be part of it, and then anyone else she wants to add to it, okay? Does that make sense? So that if you get the guest list, then, you know, she's reaching out to them saying, oh, my God, I'm so excited. I'm booked a party for, you know, Saturday at 10 a.m., you know, at this time, my consultant, and then I'm coaching her. Tell them I want you to invite them, and then tell them that I'll be contacting them to make sure I have everything ready for them. Okay? So she's inviting them, and then she's warning them that I'm going to be contacting them. Does that make sense? That's how you coach a hostess. If you just book a party, throw a hostess plan at her, and then hope and pray to God that everyone shows up, your party is not going to happen. It's not going to be as awesome. You got to take control of that, and you have to do the work beforehand to make sure that that party is awesome. And a lot of us don't do that. You know, we just say, oh, yeah, this time, this place, here's the plan, get people there.
And then we call them the the day before and wonder why they forgot.
Right. Wonder why they forgot. Wonder why, if you don't have these appointments holding. If you book a party and coach a party and really maximize all of this, you guys, you will not have as many cancellations. Because guess what? Even if that lady books with you and she doesn't feel like going, but she has 5 guests going, she's going to show up, right? She's going to show up, and because she's going to get some free stuff and people are counting on her.
And when they forget to invite their friends and they've given you the guest list and you invite their friends and you get their skin types and then you tell her, oh my gosh, Susie and Sally are so excited about your party. She's like, oh, well, I'll be there too.
Yeah.
Right?
So no, it's huge.
It is huge because women do what their friends do. So like, if their friends are excited about the party, then she's going to be excited about the party. But if you don't get her friends excited about the party and her friends are like just talking to her and she's like, well, I don't know. I've never had a Mary Kay party before. So like, I don't know. She said something about skincare and this and that she doesn't do this for a living. So she is not going to make it sound as exciting as you are. Does that make sense?
So got it? So you get her guest list, and then you're gonna contact them. And I would use like the very similar to the pre-profile script. You may tweak it a little bit. But I emailed out the pre-profile script as far as the things to ask. But basically, you're going to be contacting her saying, hey, Cherise, this is Candace. I am so excited that I hear that you may be coming to Brianna's party on Saturday. And I'm the consultant that's going to be doing the party. And I can't wait to meet you. I've heard lots of great things about you. I want to be best prepared for you and have everything ready for you and your skin. So I just have a couple quick questions to ask you. Do you have a minute? So first of all, I always ask her for her time, if I even get her on the phone. And then if I left this over a voicemail, I'd say that same thing. I'm so excited to share with you. I would love to ask you a couple questions about your skin so I can be best prepared for you and have all the things that would be best for your skin. So when I get hold of her, I ask her, it's very simple things. Tell me about your skin, Ms. Cherise. What type of skin do you have? Do you have normal, dry, common, oily? I'm asking her a question about her skin. And then I always ask her, here's the big question is, if you could change anything about your skin, what would you change? So she tells me whatever, dark spots, under eye circles, wrinkles, whatever it is. I say, awesome. Oh my gosh, Cherise, we have a great product for that. I cannot wait to tell you about it. You write that down. Very important. Write that down. And a lot of times I'll say, Cherise, tell me about you. Like, I just want to get to know her for a second. It's all about the relationship. Do you guys see this as the relationship? And then say, all right, do you have the address? You're just building that relationship with her. So she's a gazillion more times likely to come when you actually get a hold of her and talk to her on the phone. That makes sense? All right, I can't wait to see you Saturday at Brianna's party. It's going to be awesome. Then here's the beautiful thing. If let's say something happens and Cherise can't come at the party, I have her information. I have her all the stuff that she'd like to change about her skin. So after the party, I say, oh my gosh, Cherise, we totally missed you at the party. I would love to get together with you and show you those awesome products that we have for dark spots or whatever her skincare needs are. Does that make sense? It's all about the relationship, you guys. And if you do the work on the front end, you're going to get a lot better, a lot more parties holding parties, and it's going to be worth your time. Okay, so if you put in the time in the front end, it's way better. Got it? You got that? And then, but you have to know that you go in with an attitude of, I'm helping her, right? And you build that relationship with, I'm helping the hostess get everything she can. Okay? All right, so that's beforehand. Then the other thing that you want to do before a party is that you want to be prepared. Okay, I see some consultants like just winging things, or I look at their bags and it's like a hot mess and they got stuff all over the place. You want to go in organized and have your stuff together. And you want to make your job look easy and fun. I see some of you walking in like, oh God, I'm so stressed. And remember, like we talked about last week, it's not about you. The second you walk in that door, you leave your life at the door. You leave your problems, you leave your day, you leave whatever's going on at home at the door, and you are fully present. And you are great. Remember, you are great. Yes, you are great. Guest events too. You guys need that when you invite people to guests to an event, which our count is still low, where y'all need to bring people. Y'all are local in the Springs. Y'all, I would highly recommend that you start booking people. Okay, we need people to be showing up. But when you book people, you must RSVP and you must show up early to set up. I hate at least 15 to 20 minutes early. Okay, Do not be rolling in a minute early, okay? And roll it in like a hot mess, because yeah, sometimes the guests show up before the consultant. That's not cool. But one of the most professional things you can do is show up on time, and on time to an appointment is early, okay? If my party is at 7, I'll show up, if it's a party, I'll show up 10, 15 minutes early. If it's a facial, I usually don't show up super early, but if it's a party, you want to be there and set up and be prepared. Got it? Because that just looks professional, right? And we know life happens, but try and do whatever you can to get there on time, okay? So be prepared. And by being prepared, you can print off everything on my website that you need. I would hope I don't have to tell you guys this, so you already know. But you can print off all the before and after pictures of all the before and after pictures. They're all on my website of the products. Print off your tray inserts, right? You can print all that off. Roll-up bag sheets. We're going to talk a lot about this. If you guys are not using a roll bag sheets, your sales are going to be like a way smaller. So roll-up bag sheets. We'll talk about that later. Anything else that I use, you can print all that off. The other thing that I would highly recommend, I probably don't have to say this to most of you, but we have a lot of new people too, is make sure that you have everything to demo and to fill the tray. So I recommend adding minimally to your starter kit the satin lips, foundation, primer, and the eye cream. Minimally, those 3 things. As you go along, like I have a whole roll-up bag full of product. Brianna and I both have a whole roll-up bag full of stuff, because the more things that you can demo and get on your people, the more you're going to sell. Do not be afraid. Write this down in big letters. Do not be afraid to pull product off your shelf. Number 1, for yourself, because if you're not using this stuff, your sales are going to be drastically lower. One of the challenges was to send me a list of the things that you are using. Some of you, your lists were very small. Those of you, but there were a lot of you that your list was very big, and that is awesome. But just know that your sales are in direct proportion of the amount of product you are using.
And talking about,
yes. Because and you can speak from passion when you're using something yourself, okay? Do not be afraid to pull product off your shelf. That is the small thinking. Small thinking, you guys. Do not be thinking small. You want to be thinking big, and that if I take this off, it means I'm going to sell 10 more of them, right? Because I'm excited about it, all right? So don't be afraid to do that, and don't be afraid to demo product. The more things you can get on their face, the more likely they are to buy. I do a very simple facial in front of you guys on a Saturday or whatever, but at my follow-up appointments and all stuff, which we'll go over later, I demo a lot more stuff, so don't be afraid to demo things. All right, but minimally that, and then, all right, I think that's everything for setup. Oh, and this is highly recommend that you have a roll-up bag full of product. Because if you just say, oh yeah, you can get this roll bag for free, here's the picture. This picture? Really? This picture? Nobody's going to buy a roll bag for the picture, right? Nobody's going to buy a roll bag for the picture. And we're going to talk about later about romancing the roll bag and how big of a deal this is. You've got to have a roll bag full of product. Don't be cheap, people. You're a business. You got to, fill a roll-up bag full of stuff. Make it full and make it look like this. I don't want no wimpy roll-up bags that are like bent over and looking pathetic. Seriously.
At least 6 sets in the roll-up bag.
Yeah, at least 6. Okay, got it? Okay, that's beforehand. Alrighty, so you show up. Remember, the other thing about beforehand is you show up looking like $1 million. I heard someone say, oh, nobody cares, it's Colorado Springs, people are laid back. No, you show up looking like $1 million, people will be attracted to that. Some of us live in Pueblo, okay, that there is, people, whatever, I probably shouldn't say that, but I don't need to say anything. I don't need to say anything, but I stick out like a sore thumb in Pueblo. We'll just say that, and it's a good thing. That's what you want. You want to stick out like a sore thumb. You want people saying, who is that lady? Like we said last week, image is huge. Don't dress down to your audience, okay? Don't dress down. So show up looking like $1 million, find a power outfit like we talked about last week. Show up on time, come early. That's beforehand. All right? Anything else you want to add beforehand? Pre-profile everybody, have everything prepared. All right, now we're going to jump into having a rockin' party. When they show up, I have them fill out the profile card. Here's one thing I do not see you guys doing at the events, which is you're missing out big time, is while they're filling out this, you need to be talking to her. You need to be building that relationship with her. So I have her fill this. So at my appointments, I have her fill this out while I'm squirting the trays. Okay? I have her fill this out while I'm squirting the trays. And during that time, I'm asking her questions. You guys, I think last week we talked about, you got to connect with them. This whole business is a relationship business. And I know you're scared. I know you're nervous. One of the best things you can do is ask questions, because then it gets the focus off you. If you're doing all the talking beforehand, that's a problem. You want her talking, because you're going to do lots of talking later. Ask her questions about you, about her. I would say my question I would start off with is, tell me about you, Dina. You work, school, kids, tell me about you. I want to know about her. And then I ask her questions. Oh, you have kids. How old are they? Oh, how cool. Da, da, da. Okay, so you have a husband. What does he do? You know what I mean? Like, ask her about her. Ask questions. And so I'm asking a lot of questions while I'm having her fill out this profile card, and I'm gathering information. Have you ever used Mary Kay? If so, how long ago? What happened? Tell me about your skin, blah, blah, blah. If I haven't already asked her already, you're building that relationship with her. I see people bring people to the events and they sit there and it's awkward silence, and it just gives me the heebie-jeebies. Like, talk to them. Talk to them. Like, yeah, talk to them, because you're killing your sales by not talking to them. Because women, get this, you guys, write this down somewhere. Women will buy from you for 2 reasons. They like you and they trust you. Not because you twisted their arm and you said all the great things. You built a relationship with them. If you don't take the time to build a relationship with them, you're missing the boat. That's what this is all about. All right, so you take that time to build the relationship with them on the front end. You're going to be nervous, ask questions, then it gets the focus off of you. Got it? Okay, this little profile card, in case you don't know this, I hope you know this, but I didn't know this for my first month, is this is like gold. It tells you, they tell you, okay, their skincare needs. You lift this guy up, and it tells you what you should recommend to them. Oh, I know. Look at her face. She didn't know. Yes.
I didn't know.
Yes, exactly. I didn't know it for a long time. It says, oh, they want their skin to appear lifted and firm. All right, you should use the Serum C or the Volume Firm Lifting Serum. Dun, dun. What? I know.
I just knew it just came off.
I know. I didn't
Don't
understand
take
the
them
plot
off.
of that.
Okay, here's another thing. I see some of y'all take them off. Don't take them off. You keep the whole thing. This is yours. Don't take them off. That's crazy talk. This is like gold to you. Why would you take it off?
They already know what their skin is like. They don't need to bring that home.
No,
Get it.
no, this is yours. You keep this. Okay, good. That we went over that. I'm sorry. Okay. I see some people rip them off. I'm like, what are you doing? No, you can't. No,
Right?
no,
Yeah.
no, it's not a receipt. The receipt is the sales ticket. Sales ticket. No, okay. No. This is gold. This is gold. The other thing you guys can do, last week we talked about wish lists and making sure you start having wish lists at every appointment. But throughout the year, I have them create their wish list, which we'll go over in a minute. But they tell you on here, who may I contact about gift giving needs? Later we'll talk about this, but you guys, if you don't, like, they're telling you their husband, their whatever, you contact them on if they tell you their birthday, their anniversary, you contact him on birthday and anniversary and say, hey, Bob, I am Pam's Mary Kay consultant. I don't know if you need a gift for her. I know her birthday's coming up. And if you're looking for a personalized gift, I have a wish list of everything she wants. If you need some help, I'd love to help you. I gift wrap, 100% satisfaction guarantee. You have to deal with malls. What man would not love to hear those words? Right? This helps you. All right?
It also
Okay.
helps her, because she's not going to remember when you say, oh, I have the microderm on sale. She met with you 6 months ago, and she said she wants to decrease her pore size, and you say you have the microderm on sale. She's like, oh, I'm good. Remember how you wanted to decrease your pore size? Oh my gosh, the microderm is on sale, and that's exactly what it does. Holy cow. Do you see how that's so different than, my microderm's on sale. Were you still interested? She's like, no. She doesn't know what it does. She doesn't remember, but
She said she wanted to reduce
But
pore
she
size.
said it on there. And if you tear them apart, then you just see the product and you don't remember what she said.
And
Because
the
some
carbon,
products do multiple things.
well, in the carbon copy, then it just shows up weird on here. Anything she writes on the back, it won't get on here. So, no, you're shooting. No. Okay, got it? We're not going to rip them apart. This
We're
is
gonna
yours.
use them.
This is yours. Don't let people leave with this. This is yours. The other thing that it does, and one of the things that is important about a party, is that you have her create a wish list. And I have her create a wish list on the back. And that's why this is gold to me, because I have it with her information, right? And so, no, this customer profile card, if you use it correctly, is gold to you. And then, of course, it has the referrals on here. Okay, I'm glad we talked about that. Show up early. Have them fill out the profile card. While they're filling out the profile card, you're talking to her. Remember this, or think of Candace, no awkward silence. If there's awkward silence, it gets weird. So ask questions, no awkward silence. You get lots of questions. Okay, all right. So we're gonna talk about the skincare party. There's 3 parts to a skincare party: the beginning, the middle, and the end, okay? You wanna rock all 3 of them, okay? And it's strategic about not just going in winging it and having a plan, and there's certain pieces of each part that you wanna rock. And whatever you do amongst this is up to you. I mean, I have my outline, and there's the flip chart, and there's whatever you wanna use is up to you. Have something that makes you feel powerful, okay? Some outline, but I'm going to go over the important parts. So opening, strong opening. Oh, here's another quick thing about parties, which is very, very, very important. Okay, so when you go into a party, sometimes women, and you're in someone's home. When we're here, like I want to start on time. I keep things on a strict schedule because that's important to me. It's important to other people. When you're at a party, there may be, 5, 6 people, and they're chitter-chattering, and they're talking, and you're in the other room waiting for them to come in and get started, and you're waiting and waiting. You're looking at your clock, and you're like, oh, dear God, it's an hour later. No, it is your job to take control of that party. They are waiting for you to take control. Don't let the party control you. You go in there, and you walk in with confidence, which once again goes back to your attitude. You walk in with confidence, and you're like, all right, ladies, we're going to go ahead and get started. They're waiting for direction. When you're in someone's home, they're waiting for direction. And so don't wait for them to get the party started. And okay, let's say the party's supposed to start at 6:30 and it's 6:45 and there's 3 out of the 5 people there, you start. I don't wait for everybody to show up, because you could be waiting all night. And then some people don't ever show up, So don't wait. You want to respect your time, and you want to respect the time of the people that are there. I don't believe that that's fair to someone, right? And so that's why at a guest event, I'm like, I'm sorry, we're starting. Which, by the way, at a guest event, if your guest is late, please do not have side conversation. I mean, if it's too far in, you take her in another room and you get her started, because it is so distracting for everybody else in the room, okay? And that goes into coaching your guests. Hey, we have a big group on Saturday morning. We got to be there at 10. It starts at 10. Let's be there at 7 or 9:45. That goes back into your coaching, right? You're coaching to it.
I always coach them to come a little bit early so that I can get a good foundation match. Super simple.
Or you have a gift or
So
whatever.
I would love to get your foundation matched up before we get started, so we can be sure we have the exact right color for you. So is there any reason why you couldn't come 10 minutes early?
Remember that question from last week? Is there any reason why?
Because there's not. If she can't be here at 10, there's no reason why she can't be here at 9:50 or 9:55.
Right. Okay, so take control of the party. If the ladies are all chitter-chattery in the kitchen, here's another thing. This goes back to hostess coaching, which I didn't say earlier, which is another important thing that you're talking to her, hey, I want this party to be its best. And so you can have some light snacks or refreshments, but let's save them till the end. Food, I save till the end. If they bring the food out, Lord knows you're going to be there for either 30 minutes or 45 minutes. Let's save the food till the end. And then they're chitter-chattery and say, all right, ladies, we're going to go ahead and get started. So save the food till the end during closing. Okay, that goes in the hostess coaching. You building that relationship with her. So let's say they're all in the kitchen and you're in the dining room setting up, which hopefully you would not, because you get there early and on time. So you're chitter-chattering with them in the kitchen, right? Because you have everything all set up. But then when they're chitter-chattering, it's your job to take control and say, all right, ladies, let's go ahead and get started. That's what I say. All right, ladies, let's go ahead and get started. And they won't. And you walk over in there, and they will walk over in there. It's the weirdest thing, but they're waiting for you to take control. Okay? Waiting for you to take control. Got it? They are.
We
It's
laugh,
the
but
weirdest thing.
they really
They
are.
are.
The other thing about refreshments and snacks and stuff is, like, I have some parties where the hostess will have wine or some sort of alcohol. It's fine. I mean, most women are adults and they can do that, but it changes your skin color. It does make you a little bit flushed, and I warn the hostess of that, especially when they say that they're having it. I'm like, okay, so just so you know, it does change your skin color a little bit, so I would love to match foundations before anybody's drinking. And then it also just puts the wine at the end. And then you don't have to worry about it. They pull out the wine when you're leaving. it's great.
Mm-hmm. Or you're closing.
But that's a
this
huge
time.
thing because if they're drinking before you get there, then you're
It's out
not
of
going to
control.
get a true match for foundation. So just FYI for that kind of thing, because then when I first started, I had somebody that called me back. She's like, my foundation doesn't match. And I'm like, and I looked at the party she was from and I was like, oh,
Mhm.
they was not.
So that goes into the hostess coaching. Okay. All right. So beginning. So you take control of the party, right? And then, all right, opening. So we start with a strong opening. A couple things at the beginning is you start with a strong opening. Tell them a little bit about Mary Kay, but then you have a strong I story. A strong I story. That's something that we'll talk about in a second. And you talk about the importance of the follow-up appointment. And so you're telling them this on the front end so that they know. And then, and at my appointments, if you see me, I play the queen game. I think the queen game is a fun little way to remind them to have a follow-up appointment. Now, here's one thing, and we'll talk about this in closing, is at the appointments that I do here, you see me go all the way, till the table close. In the individual consultation, I have literally set you up to book that follow-up appointment, that you need to be booking that follow-up appointment. But you got to be talking about it, okay, at your own individual parties. Play a game. I don't play the game if there's only one or two people there, by the way. I still say follow-up appointment, but I don't play a game. That gets weird, okay? I just got to preface that. I say it, but, one person, okay, you're the winner, surprise. But if it's three or more, you do something like that to spice it up. It makes it fun. Anytime it gets awkward or weird, you say follow-up appointment, and they go, queen, and it causes all this, excitement. Okay, that's why you do it, is because it makes it fun. It's a fun little game. But so the follow-up appointment, that's really important to talk about at the beginning. And then the other thing that's important to talk about at the beginning is the wish list, like we talked about before. You guys are shooting yourself in the foot to not have people make wish lists, because you use that at the end with closing. You use that to bribe her for a hostess program. You use that as gift giving. That you've got to be explaining all that on the front end. Okay, so those things are important. And I story, I now do my I story during satin lips, but you've got to have a strong I story. Now, we'll pass around the handout. Well, I'm going to take one for me and then I'll hand it. And then actually, Dina, no, I'm good. Pass it down.
Two there.
No, I want to make sure they have it. I'm going to give mine away because I don't need it. Anyways, pass it around. I'm just making so this guy, this I story training. Okay. I'm going to give you another homework assignment. Okay, 50 points for this. Create your I story and then send me a message. I want to hear a message of your powerful I story. You saying it out loud to Candace or your director. Okay? So, or both, absolutely. If I'm not your director, say it to both. Okay, your powerful I story. Now, you guys have all heard my I story a million times. It doesn't ever change. Now, I didn't have a great I story in the beginning, right? So here are the things that you're going to go over with a great I story. Oh, good, there's enough. Sorry, you got one? Okay, good. So here's some quick, basic, powerful I story. Now, let me preface this. Remember, we want to work full circle parties. We're at a party, we are selling product, we are booking second appointments. That's what the follow-up appointment is going to do for you. Because anytime you're talking about a product, okay, I'll go over that later. And then you want to recruit people, but recruiting comes in layers. Very few people sign up after listening to an I story. Okay, so that is not the point. But if you want to build strong recruits, you are going to be layering them. I have them. Oh, well, okay, here we go. I'm going to go off on tangent for a second. With my I have them listen to my video, watch my video beforehand. That's what I do. If you look at my pre-profile script, I ask them about their scan and what they want to change. And then I usually send them the video. I forgot to even talk about confirming. Anyways, sorry. I will go over that in a second. So I send them my video beforehand within 24 hours of the party. And I say, my text is always, also, if you get a minute to watch this, and I sent this all in the email from last week. Also, if you get a minute to watch this video, I'll give a free color item. And a lot of times, I've had people show up at the party, they've already watched my video and have a desire to sign up, or they're at least thinking about it, okay? So that's part of my layering. So I have her watch my video. I do I story, and then at the end I book her for a career chat. So you see you're layering the business throughout, right? And so that's why you want to have a powerful I story. I want to mention something really quickly because I know I'll forget later. So one thing that's important beforehand too is that you confirm them. You don't, or that you confirm. When I'm confirming the appointments, I say, I'm assuming we're still on. I don't say that. I don't say I'm assuming you're still on, but I'm assuming we're still on. I don't say, hey, are we still on for tomorrow? I say, Teresa, I still look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Do you still have the address and how many people will be joining her? I ask her questions. I think we went over this really quickly last week, but I ask her a question and then I send her my video. Does that make sense? I think I sent you all the script. Okay, I want to make sure I went over that. All right, going on to iStory. So it's important you do iStory, and maybe the only time you get to be in front of your customer here. There's 4 parts of an iStory. If you would have met me X time ago, for some of you it's like 2 months ago, why you didn't think you could do Mary Kay? Because so many people don't think they can do Mary Kay. How I got started, why you're glad you did. That's literally the main things about it. And when you ask why you're glad you did, why you're glad you did. Okay, that just sounds weird. I feel like it's coming out like, anyways. Right next to there, what are things you love about your business? The couple things that you love about your business. Some of you're gonna be like, well, I'm not rolling in the dough yet. No. We don't care about that. I wanna know, why do you love your business? Why are you enjoying it now? What has it done for you so far? Okay? Because you guys, you hear me talk about, oh, lady I signed up and I was making 10 grand a month, a year later I did that. People don't sign up for that. Yes, they're like, okay, that's nice, but they can't even think that big. They sign up because they're like, I want to make, you know, one of the biggest reasons, a couple biggest reasons people sign up is they want to make a difference in other people's lives. They're looking for something fun and positive and a confidence booster. That's why they sign up. It's not about the money. So y'all are worried about not sharing an iStory because you haven't made all this money yet. They don't care. Tell them why you love your business, because it's fun. I love my meetings. I love my girlfriend time. It gives me a break away from my kids. You know, I get some adult time. You know, it's helping my confidence. I don't care. Whatever you love about it, just share. Okay? So there's 2 major objections to them thinking they can do Mary Kay. Not the type and don't have the time. If you cover those in your iStory, you're working smart, not hard. So many people don't think they're the type. You know, that's why we all say, I would say, I didn't think I was the type. Or I didn't think I had the time. Those are the 2 big objections. So when you say, if you would have met me X amount of time ago, why you didn't think you could do Mary Kay, if that's one of your things for you, put that in there. I didn't think I could have done Mary Kay because I didn't have the time, or I didn't think I could have done Mary Kay because I wasn't the type, because I was this. Right? Does that make sense? You're overcoming that objection. How you got started, but then I went to a party and blah, 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 and heard, my iStory is blah, 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 50% off, whatever. And then why you're glad you did. Why? So weird. And that's it. That's all your iStory is. It can be like, for most of you, it's going to be a minute. You want to keep it to a minute. You don't want to be this long, drawn-out thing. You want to keep it to like a minute and a half. Okay? So that's your homework. It's another homework assignment. Random extra points, 50 extra points when you create up an iStory and then you send it to me in a message. Okay? So you say your iStory either at the beginning or I do mine now during satin lips while the mask is sitting there. Okay? All right. So, beginning. Anything else about the beginning you need to share?
There were 2 things that we said.
50 points for the why training, and then talking to your director about it, or taking a picture of it and then talking to her. Because remember, I want to hear from you. Yes. Remember, I want to hear from you. I'm not hearing from you enough. You're not talking to me daily. You're not talking to me enough.
You guys talk to me enough.
Yes, if you're.
I mean, you can always talk to me more.
Her people maybe. The rest of you, no. And if you're not your director and you're not talking to your director daily, you're not talking to her now. Because we get in our own head way too much. Okay, the middle part of the appointment. The middle part's pretty simple. We're not going to spend a lot of time on that. You're going to go through the products. One of the keys about the products is your excitement level. You don't need to know all the facts and figures, but if you're using this stuff, you will sell a ton of this stuff. If you're not using everything we use at a skincare class, shame on you. You're not going to sell it. I have people sometimes that if they get inventory, they're like, Candace, I'm not moving this. Are you using it? No. Well, that's probably why you're not moving it. You're not excited about it. Now, if it's not for your skin, I understand. But, or it's not for your skin type or whatever, I understand that that's different. But like all the other stuff that you could use and just aren't, that you're not going to sell them. You're not going to sell them nearly as much. So start using this stuff.
People are using their old makeup still. Like that.
Throw it away. 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 You want to be using Mary Kay head to toe. It's a tax deduction, people. It's a tax deduction. You got to look your best, and so write down a list. We'll go over taxes and all the bookkeeping stuff later, but you got to write down everything that you're using. Okay, if you have a problem staying active, you're not using enough of this product, because I'm sure Brianna and I could stay active with just our own order for ourselves monthly. Seriously, for our own stuff because we use this stuff, right?
Get your family on it. Get your
Yeah.
husband using it. We haven't been playing. Get your husband
Husband
using it. Get
using
your kids using
perfumes,
it.
making sure, like, we have so much cool stuff. Anyways, use the body wash and shave, use whatever. There's so much stuff. Don't be afraid to take them out. So the middle part of the party products, explain all that. It's great. I'm not going to go over all that. Oh, there is one thing though that I did start. I think it's really important is that I want you selling skincare. I want you selling skincare. And one thing that I've started doing that I did a long time ago, and I took it away because we did do satin hands at the beginning now. But I've been bringing it back, and it has made a big difference in skincare sales. And that is that I do a skincare demo. I used to do it on the back of their hand, but then they've already done satin hands. It doesn't look as cool. But I like to do the skincare demo. I now do it on their arm. So what that means is after we've done the miracle set and I put their foundation on their face and they're like, oh, I love the foundation. How many times do people buy just the foundation and then they don't buy the skincare set? Because they think the foundation is the reason their skin looks so awesome. No. Their foundation looks awesome because they did the skincare, right? And the last thing they put on their face is one of the last things that they're going to order. And so then you're selling a $20 sale versus a $64 sale and not getting her on good skincare. Okay, so this will definitely help increase your sales because I want you selling sets and skincare. I used to on the back of their hand, and now I do it on their arm. After I've done the foundation, I say, "Doesn't your foundation look awesome?" We talk all about it. Then it looks even, looks blah blah blah. And then I say, one of the reasons I hear someone's unmuted. Sorry, I can hear you. Right, I muted you. Okay, so one of the reasons it looks so amazing is because of skincare. I say, what we're gonna do is a quick demo on your arm. So pull up your sleeve, and then, all right, we're gonna do a little tiny bit of the cleanser. Grab a little bit of the cleanser, wipe it off. Grab a little tiny bit of the moisturizer, put it right there. Okay, grab a little tiny bit of the CC cream, put it right there. And so they did the skincare on their arm. And I say, why don't you just take a little bit of the CC cream and put it up here? All right, put it up here and tell me what do you know is different between the two. And yeah, the reactions are amazing. And honestly, what they'll see is the spot with the skincare, the foundation looks flawless. It just sits on the top. They can't even, it evens out their skin. You can't even tell you have it on. Up here, number one, it is hard for them to push in, and it usually settles into their skin, into their dry skin. It literally looks like two different colors a lot of the times. And so that shows them the importance of, I don't want you buying just the foundation. The reason your skin looks so awesome is because we just did skincare, okay? But that goes in you doing that demo after you do foundation, okay? And then, like I had it happen just the other day, I'd done that demo and the girl's like, trying to figure out what she wants. And then she's like, well, I just think I want the foundation. I was like, well, you can just get the foundation. Remember the demo we did. It's not going to look the same. And I want your skin looking its best. And I want your foundation looking its best. That I wouldn't buy it without it. And so she bought the skincare set, So you go back to that. Does that make sense? Because you want them on good skincare. They're going to see the biggest difference in their skin, right? Exactly. And then you reference back to it. Okay. So that's a very part in the middle that I've started adding, which I think has made a big difference in skincare set sales. But that goes back to you. If you're using the skincare, you're going to be way more excited about it. And then I talk about the supplemental items like microderm and facial peel and all that. But you got to be excited about them too if you're using them. Okay. So the other middle part that we talked about is the referral game. We talked about that in our leads training. So be sure to be doing that. All right. Now closing. We're going to talk about the end because we're going to spend the majority of the time or the last time on this because this is really important. You can have an awesome party, and especially a lot of new consultants don't close things. And even consultants who have been here for years don't close things. And because you're scared, you don't want to be pushy. That you've got to go into this knowing that you are helping her. You got to go into this knowing that you're helping her get what's best for her skin. If you go into closing saying, I'm being pushy and I don't want to bug her and I don't want to make her buy anything she don't want to need. If you have that attitude, you're not going to make no sales. But if you have the attitude about, I want you to look her best and I'm going to get her looking her best, because here's the deal, you guys. If they don't buy from you, they're going to buy from somewhere else. Write that down somewhere. Get over yourself. Remember, get over yourself. I have to say that over and over and over. It's not about me. She is going to go buy it somewhere else if she wants it, right? That you are helping her and showing her this is going to be the best value for your money, right? So closing. So things I do at the end is I play the compliment game. I think that's very, very, very important at the end that you, if it's just her, I have her hold out her mirror and I say, tell me what you think. What are the things that you love about your skin right now? If it's a party, I want her friends complimenting her. So we go around, you guys see if there's like 20 people at a guest event, I don't go around and do it individually, but if there's like 4 or 5 people at a guest event, I will go around and each individual person. So what do we all like about Dina's look? Her friends, everybody's complimenting her. Sophia, what do we all like about Sophia's look? Sarah, what do we all like about Sarah's look? We're going around the table. Other people are complimenting her because what do women do when they look at themselves? They focus on all the things that are wrong with them. Let's say they didn't like the lipstick, and the very first thing, I don't like my lipstick, you know, and they forget that the rest of their face and their eyes and their everything else looks amazing, right? So her friends are focusing on what they like about her, okay? That's important to increase your sales. And then you go into closing. And then that's where, yeah.
So when you're playing the compliment game, if no one says anything about how even her skin looks, make sure you do. Because you've already told her her skin's gonna look even because of the skincare and the foundation. And you know, because you've seen it on every single face you've done, that the foundation that you put on is gonna look even. But they don't necessarily pay attention to that. Like she was saying, if they're, you know, noticing, oh my gosh, Sarah, I've never seen your eyes look so great. I've never seen, like, I didn't know how long your eyelashes were. You don't want them to just buy mascara. You want them refocused on that skincare, and that's a great tool to be like, Patty, I just love how even your skin is. Like, it just looks so natural and flawless. And then when you're in your closing and you're reiterating, they're going to remember that flawless and that evenness, and that's because of the skincare. That really isn't because of the foundation.
Right. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I always that's the thing I always say, because her friends are going to say all the other stuff, the superficial stuff, right? Okay, because we want you selling skincare and selling sets. Okay, then you pass out this roll-up bag set sheet. If you're not using the set sheet, like I said, you're shooting yourself in the foot. You're shooting yourself in the foot. Here's a tip that I can't forget to say. The second you give someone a catalog, your sales are going to go down drastically. I don't even bring them. Yeah, a lot of people don't even have them. By the way, it drives me bonkers when people set up at guest events and they put a catalog or a beauty book next to them. I don't put nothing next to them. Because guess what happens? They're looking through that catalog and not listening. They're not listening to you. The second you give them a catalog, your sales are going to go down. They're going to go down. So don't give them catalog. Hold on to those catalogs.
There's a really, really, really easy thing to say. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I just ran out and I forgot to put them in my bag. So simple. I'm so sorry. I just ran out, but I can get you one. And then you can email it to her after she's already bought sets.
Yeah. So if someone doesn't buy sets, then I would give them a catalog. Okay. So I don't give them a catalog till then. All right. So the set sheet. You guys, the whole point of this is to sell sets because women like a deal. Women like a deal. And I've seen it happen a gazillion times where people buy $199 for this silly bag. Okay. So the strategy of this is you give them 3 options. They 9 times out of 10 will go for the middle one. Okay. But then you will sell some queens, and then you will sell some 2 sets for $99. But I always sell the middle one. Like that's the most one that I sell.
Is that an updated one you said last time I talked to you?
Yes.
I hadn't updated yours yet.
That's updated of prices. Yeah.
There's an updated one on her website.
On my website, and I haven't decided what I'm gonna do with the new set sheets or any of that. So I'm a creature of habit. So I have not changed anything. Plus, anyways. So that's another thing that we'll talk about later. But then, okay. So then you go, so closing involves, follow my script. It says, just because you came today, you told her a million times she didn't have to buy anything, okay? So get out of your head that you're being pushy. Because you get out of your head right now, out of your head. You are not pushing Mary Kay lady. You are helping them. We are going in there to change some lives, right? We are there because there are some skincare emergencies here in Colorado. And there are some makeup emergencies for sure. To help people. You go into that and, you're going to sell way more product. Exactly. All right. So you've told her a million times. And so I start off my closing with, just because you came today doesn't mean you have to buy anything. We don't work that way. But in case you didn't want to get something, I'm going to show you how things come. Here's our set sheet. Make sure everybody has their own set sheet. Make sure they are in color. Make sure they are pretty. and not ruffled up and folded edges. No, look professional. Make sure it looks pretty. Only at a huge guest event, when I don't have enough of these, do I have black and white, but you want it to look pretty and professional. So then I go through the 12 sets, and if you follow my skincare class, I go through all of these sets, so they have heard about all of these things, okay? And they've heard about them all, and so then I go through the sets. Then this is important, and if you see me do this on a Saturday morning, this is why I do this, is after I show them the sets, then I say on the back of your profile card, what I want you to do down here in the pink is I want you to just dream a little. Pretend that everything was free, and you write down everything you would get, or if everything was free, you have to write down the set numbers. And then I'm going to clean up because I hate all the messiness. Some of you guys at the end of your party, you got all your crap everywhere. And then there's all the mirrors and the trays and stuff out. I want things clean. So I want her to take that time dreaming before I talk with the roll-up bag. Really, really, really important. I'll tell you in a minute why. And then they you go clean everything all up. You get all some of you, okay, and here's one of those things, if when you come to a guest event, some of you start cleaning up as I'm going over this, and I will always tell you, why don't we wait and do that? Not to throw you under the bus, but it's distraction. It's a distraction. Anytime you're going and talking to your guests, anytime you're doing things, it's distracting, because then like you go and you start cleaning up your guest thing, and then all the guests start cleaning up their stuff, trying to help, and they're not listening. And then I'm like, ah! So just know that I'll call you out because it drives me bonkers. Aaron knows I've done it to her.
You do it to me too.
Yeah, I've done it to Brianna. I'm like, Brianna, no. And she's like, okay, I'm trying to help. No, like, no.
I just forget.
It's very important, you guys. This closing is strategic. It's strategic. And so I have them wish, and they're dreaming, and then I'm cleaning up, okay? So then I'm cleaning up. So when I come back to the table, all that's at the table is their roll-up bag, their profile cards, and me and my roll-up bag. Everything else is all put away, okay? Because then I have all the cleaning done. Remember, you want to make your job look easy. If you got mess and you're there cleaning up till whatever, that doesn't look cute, right? So you want to make your job look easy. So after they're done dreaming, then I come on.
Before you go on, one of the things that's really important when you're doing the closing sheet, there are these little numbers right here, and they have this little symbol in front of them that is a dollar sign. Every single person at your party knows what that sign means. You do not need to tell them. So what that's going to look like is as you're going through the sets, you're going to hold yours up here, okay? If you're newer or if you're me and you forget what order they go in, you hold yours up here. Everyone has their own. And what that looks like is you literally go, okay, so set 1 is just our basic skincare. That's going to be your cleanser, your moisturizer, and a foundation of your choice. That's 64. Set 2 is going to make that the miracle set by adding the day and night solution. Do you notice how when I said 64, it did not sound like near as much money as when I say $64?
Mm-hmm.
Never, ever say dollars.
Mm-hmm.
Ever. Especially in the part that Candace is going to talk about next.
Okay. So, all right. So then you come back and then you romance this bad boy. This is very important. If you do not have a full roll-up bag, you cannot romance a roll-up bag. If you have a wimpy, pathetic, half open or half full roll-up bag, you cannot romance the roll-up bag. You want it to be big and full. Put more stuff in there. Put cotton balls. Put whatever you got to put here to fill it up.
Put an empty bottle.
Yes.
Like if you have an empty bottle of your toning lotion,
fill it.
put your empty bottle in there.
Which spot? Okay, I'll explain that in a second. So you have this roll-up bag, and you tell her, oh, it hangs up and da-da-da, open, close. You tell her all the things that I would say at my appointments, and here's the poor part. They come off, and everybody's eyes go, oh, I love that part. And you take, and then you say, and if you travel, and you put all your stuff in here, and it rolls up, and oh my gosh, it's so amazing. And you romance the roll-up bag. They want this bag. This bag is awesome. It's very important you romance it because women will buy the $199 and $299 for the silly little bag. You don't romance the bag, then you're shooting yourself in the foot with your sales. So, which the other thing I have to mention really quickly that Brianna mentioned, so like the toning lotion and the microderm, if you see me at my parties, I put those out and I have them, like the bottle is there. That is an empty bottle of lotion or body lotion, it doesn't matter, but you're showing them the bottle. That's important. And you pass around the picture, okay? Anyways, make sure you have those things.
Again, I kind of went.
that you show them the bottle. When I'm talking about the toning lotion, I have the toning lotion there. Very important. In my training video, I talk about if you have inventory, pull it off your shelf and make sure they can see that bottle. That even if you don't ever use it, it's the bottle. It's the bottle sitting there, which is powerful. They're way more likely to buy it.
As you're romancing the bag.
No, when I'm talking about it earlier in my parties, you see me talk about the toning lotion earlier. Sorry. Okay, so there's that. After I romance the bag, then I explain the sets. All right, so here's the sets. We have, first you get the queen bag, any 6 sets for $2.99. It's about $100 and $150 off. Remember, $2.99. $2.99 sounds cheaper than $300 for some reason. And then princess bag, any 4 sets for $1.99, and then choose any 2 sets for $99. Right?
To explain. She said dollars when she said dollars when she said it's about $100 to $150 off. It sounds like more when you say dollars. So if you're using dollars to talk about how much they're getting off, you're gonna increase your sales that way. But when you say it's only $299, even if you say bucks, it's not the same. It's only $2.99.
You hear that?
They are smart enough to know that
all the little things, people little things. Okay, so that's okay. And then the last 2 things I say, that this is important, where I explain that, and then I say, and then I tell them how I take, payment. I take cash, check, and at my personal parties, I say, you can't even do payment plans for you to make it affordable. And we're going to talk about that in a second, that I would highly recommend that. It'll drastically change your sales. We'll go over that in a second. And then the last thing I say, which is important, I say, okay, that skincare is one of the best investments you can make in your looks. It's one of the best investments you can make in your looks, because people see that every day. You can easily spend $60 at, on a pair of shoes or an outfit. You wear that every so often, but your face you wear every day. And you definitely get what you pay for with good skincare. It's part of my script, but you guys, that's really important that you remind them that it's their skin. Okay, so that's the table close. If you come to a Saturday morning, that's where I usually close it. Okay, that's a table close. But the individual consultation is huge. And so even at a guest event, you guys, you need to master the individual close. And a lot of you are not even doing the individual close. And it's very, very, very important. It's going to kill your sales. Okay, so then you pull them aside away from the table. So that's very important. You pull them away from their friends. Okay, if you do the individual consultation at the table, you're shooting yourself in your foot. Your sales are going to go down. You've got to pull her away. You've got to pull her away. And you are going to do 3 things when you're individually consulting with people. Okay, I'll steal her. So a couple things about closing though before we go over it is you're going to pull her away. And like, let's say if we're in here doing our guest event, you need to like maybe pull her into a side room, pull her off to the side. I mean, if there's not other people at the table, maybe you can sit there next to her, but pull her away. If I'm at a home and let's say we're doing the skincare class in the kitchen or dining room, then I'll maybe pull her into the living room, into a sofa. You want to pull her away, okay? And so when I pull her away, and you pick somebody first. Very important, once again, you take control of the party. That you say, and I always pick the fun person or the person I like first. And I say, all right, what I'm going to do now is meet with you each individually and go over any questions you may have. If you want to get anything, of course you can. I have product with me here tonight. We're going to book those follow-up appointments. And we're going to book follow-up appointments. So, Sophia, why don't you guys go first? And then I'll pick somebody. I'll tell her, bring your profile card and the closing sheet. And I get up and I walk to wherever, and she gets up and follows me. You got to teach people. It's your job to lead that, right? If you say, I'll go over there and come when you're ready, you're going to be waiting forever and twiddling your thumbs.
Or
your job.
Who wants to go first.
Yeah, if you already say who wants to go first or who needs to lead first. Okay. And then once I'm done with Sophia, I say, Sophia, all right, go ahead and tell Dina to come back in. Sophia, walk over. Tell Dina. Dina walks back in. It's the craziest thing, but you're taking control of the party. Okay. All right. So when I'm at the individual consultation, there are 3 things you're doing. Remember, we are working full circle. We are mastering full circle appointments. You're going to sell products first and foremost. You're going to book that second appointment, and you're going to share the opportunity with her, right? All those 3 things. This happens in the individual consultation. So I sit down with her. I'm going to role play with Miss Brianna here, and
I'll put a tall for you.
Yes. Okay. So I'm going to role play with which when I sit down with someone, I usually will be lower than her. because I'm tall, and it is important to be lower than her. I'm not going to do that for right now because it'll, yeah.
Brianna's short. She's trying to be nice, but that's why.
Okay, I'm not going to follow that, but I will follow that because anyway. So basically, I would say, hey, Brianna, how are you? Did you have a good time?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. How does your face feel? How does it feel?
Like crazy sound.
Isn't that amazing?
Like my kid's butt, dude.
Oh yeah. What was your favorite part?
I think I really like the lips. The
Good
satin
stuff.
lips, yeah, feels really
Good stuff, huh? And do you have any questions that we didn't go over?
No, not that I can think of.
No.
They
Okay.
always say that.
Yeah.
They always say no.
Yeah. So let me see what you got. Oh, you have a lot written down here. Okay. So let's see. You like set 1, 3, 5, and 10. Awesome. Awesome. Well, would you mind if I showed you what that would look like in a payment plan?
Sure.
Sure. I've never had anyone tell me no. I printed this off my website. Awesome. Well, if you got all those 4 sets of the things that you loved, that would be, you get the princess bag, you get the bag for free. Usually comes to about $218 with tax. So that would be 2 payments of $109, or 3 payments of $72.94, or 4 payments of $54 or $71. Do any of those look like possible options for you?
Yes, sure.
Okay.
I could
I'll go over saying no in a minute.
I could probably do like 1 each paycheck.
Awesome. Awesome. That's perfect. I know. I love doing things in payments because then you get everything you want and then we split up. It makes it affordable. I love it. So let me go ahead and write up the sales ticket. And when do you want those 4 payments run? So I like to run 1 today or the next 24 hours. Is that good?
Sure.
And then when do you want the next one? You said once a month. Well, do we need to pull up a calendar and look at your paychecks? And
No, my husband gets paid on the 1st and the 15th.
okay. Well, then let's do, what do you want to do? The first of each month?
I'd actually rather get it done sooner. So if we could do like the 1st and the 15th.
Perfect,
That'd be
perfect. So
great.
I'll write the dates on here when we're going to charge it. If anything changes it, let me know. We get our card number. I write it all up. Awesome. Okay, cool. Well, and now we need to schedule that follow-up appointment. I know you have a couple other things on here that you
Queen.
didn't get. I know, Queen. What?
They do that.
I know. So we need to set up a time that works best for us. So what's your schedule like? Like, are you more available during the day, evenings, weekends?
Well, my kid's back in school now, so probably during the day.
During the
Maybe
day,
yes.
awesome. I have Monday or Wednesday available.
I have an appointment on Wednesday, so let's do Monday.
Monday, I have a 10 or noon. What would be best for you?
Probably noon.
Noon. All right, awesome. And do you want to come to me, or do you want me to come to you, or come to the studio? Studio. Awesome,
I
awesome.
have
All
to
right.
clean my house.
I know, I'm not cleaning your house. So we'll do the studio Monday at noon. And if you want to have friends join you, oh my gosh, it's so much more fun. Do this with friends. And I'll even give you that microderm that you didn't get tonight. I'll give you that microderm at 50% off if you have 3 friends join you. What do you think? Ooh, I know.
Probably
Could
get
have
some
it at
moms.
50% off. I know. You can
Work
get
that
some
out.
moms together, right? Okay, well, ask around. What I'm going to do is, so I can help you get that microderm and make sure that they're there, is I'm going to go ahead and get your guest list within 48 hours. And if you get me your guest list within 48 hours, I'll give you free mascara too. Just for getting that to me.
Yeah.
But that way, I'm going to make sure that I'm fully prepared for them and have everything that they need and am customized for their skin. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah.
Awesome. So we'll talk and I'll get that list in the next 48 hours. And then lastly, I am so passionate about what I do that I love sharing the business opportunity with everybody, all my customers, just so they can know a little bit more about it. Would you mind, you can stay after for a few minutes, I'll share some information, or I'd love to meet you for coffee maybe in the next few days, and you can just listen. Part of my training is to have people just listen to the info. I don't know if it's for you, that's totally fine, but I have a huge goal and I want all my customers to at least know about it. So can I buy you a cup of coffee sometime in the next few days? I can always tell you about it.
Yeah, that would be better. I got to run to my kid's game today.
Okay, perfect. All right, well, let's set up a time maybe tomorrow. What should we like tomorrow? You like, I don't know, and you said that. Does that make sense? You go through and book it. So do you see I'm going through all 3 things? I'm selling her product. Now, if she says no, really quickly say no when I offer her the roll-up bag, because I offer this to everybody. So I'm going to explain this really quickly. Okay, all right. You don't want to do that? All right, what would you like to take home with you today?
Honestly, my husband doesn't get paid until the 15th, and I literally have like nothing right now.
Nothing.
I don't
All
have
right.
money until the 15th.
Okay, well, we can do one of two things. Either I can contact you on the 15th, or when we schedule a follow-up appointment, you can earn it at that party.
We should probably earn it because I'm pretty sure on the 15th, if I buy something like this, my husband might freak out.
And then you would go through booking the party, right? I'm not going to go through all that again. You guys are smart. But do you see how I'm going through each of the three things? I'm selling her product first. Then and then I'm scheduling that second appointment after. And then I'm sharing the business information after, okay? Now, really quickly because I want you guys to have some time to role play. Payment plans. This only works, and if you look at the thing there, it says it only works if you have about $3,000 of inventory on your shelf. I would not recommend doing it any less, $2,400 maybe. But if you have any less, then you don't have enough. You don't have enough product to handle this. Now, this can freak some people out. I would not tell you to do it if I got screwed a lot. Okay, that number one, you guys have female intuition. That if you have red flags going off all over the place and you've spent an hour and a half with someone, don't offer payment plans to them. If someone, no offense to anybody at all, I'm not, whatever, but if somebody doesn't have a car, doesn't have a job, doesn't have this, and they're complaining about whatever the whole time, don't offer them payment plans, okay? Be smart. You're a smart businesswoman. And so does that make sense? But what this does is it makes things way more affordable, and that people are going to be way more likely to buy roll bags. I sell a ton of roll bags. I sold a repair set last night doing this, and she wasn't going to buy the repair set until I told her after payments. And they split up into payment plans for it. I usually only do payments if it's about, if it's $200 or more, maybe $100 or more, I'd maybe split it into 2 payments. But then you get her card number and you figure out the time that you're going to run it. And I do give her all the product that night, but I wouldn't tell you to do it if it was something that I would get in trouble of, that it doesn't. But you cannot do it if you don't have enough inventory. Don't even try. Don't even try. Please don't try. It does not work. Only if you have, like I said, at least 3,000, maybe 2,400, but it does not work if you have less. Okay. So, but you will sell a ton more products on payment plans. A ton. So we can go over that later if you have individual questions about that. But it is very important that you have her listen, or that you go through each of those steps, okay? So we're gonna have you guys role play, but we are in a time schedule. We have like 10 more minutes, and there's a couple other things that I wanna just hand out to you. And then I'm gonna have you guys role play for the last few minutes. Anything else you wanna add about individual consultation?
I ask a different question for the follow-up appointment. Instead of asking them when they wanna schedule it, I just ask them, so what do you want to try at your follow-up appointment? I don't give them the option of like, when do you want to schedule it? And because sometimes they'll say, I want to wait. And so I just say, what do you want to try? We talked about a whole bunch of stuff that you didn't get to try today. What do you want to try at your follow-up appointment? And they'll tell me microderm or charcoal mask or color. Because if they come to a charcoal mask event or we do a charcoal mask party, then I don't do color. If they come to a Saturday morning, they usually want to try microderm. So I just ask them what they want to try, and then I do it exactly the same way. But that's the only different question that I ask.
No, you bring up a great point that I think is really important that I did want to talk about is the importance of follow-up appointment. And a lot of you have asked me, what do you do at a follow-up appointment? And that's why you're not booking them, because you don't know what to do at them. Do you want to have that thing? Okay, so at a follow-up appointment, it depends on, once again, how you operate your business and how much inventory you have and what you're demoing. That's why you got to pull stuff out of your demos, because you're letting them try other things. So a follow-up appointment is whatever you want it to be. If you use our guest events, like she said, if they come on a Monday night or a Thursday night in Pueblo, we typically do charcoal masks. If they come on a Saturday, we usually do get them ready for day and do full color. Okay, so you could book the charcoal mask as a follow-up appointment if they came on a Saturday because they hadn't tried the charcoal mask. So you're letting them try something different. I don't demo microderm at the first appointment because I use microderm as a bribing tool for my follow-up appointments. At my follow-up appointments, I let my hostesses use microderm, only the hostess. And so my follow-up appointment is I let the hostess use several different things because I want the follow-up appointment to be she's bringing me her people, right? And so let's say you're my guest, then you get to use. I let her use different colors. I would do a customized color just for her. Go online and print off the things that look best for her and her skin tone and all that. And then I would let her use liner. I would let her use a brush set. I would let her use eye primer. I'd let her use microderm I'd let her use a foundation brush for her foundation. Like all the extra things, you let her use other stuff. Because then what you're doing is at your party, you're saying, oh, Patty's getting to use, microderm, or she's getting to use the brush set, or she's getting this because this is her follow-up appointment. That they're going to want to book their follow-up appointment because they want to use that stuff. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And so, so that's very important. So that's what I do at my follow-up appointments is I let her use some different things, but then everything else is the same. She just gets some special stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you, your follow-up appointment, there's no outline, there's no whatever. It's based off of what you each are running, and what you have in your inventory. Once again, don't be afraid to demo. Don't be afraid to demo stuff, because once again, you're probably not booking follow-up appointments because you're not pulling stuff out of your demos, and so you're shooting yourself in the foot and not booking parties from parties, right? So that's what we do at a follow-up appointment. And the other reason a follow-up appointment is very important is, well, number one, it's the best way you can work your business is booking parties from parties. That's the way Mary Kay intended her company to be, is she wanted at every party you to book 1 or 2 more parties from there, right? And then you don't have to run around town and do all these lead, generating things if you're booking parties from parties. And if you don't have a great hostess plan, if you're not pulling stuff off your shelf, if you're not doing this, then you're shooting yourself in the foot, right? The other thing it does is it builds that relationship with her. This is a relationship business. If she's had multiple parties with me, she's never leaving me, right? So the other sheet that I passed out is just closing the deal. There are just some extra fun things to help you with closing. And a couple things we talked about. Attitude. Your attitude in going into closing is huge. Like we said, your attitude determines whether they're going to buy or not. Questions, subconscious, positive encouragement for the sale. I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to give you a handout for that in a second too. But jelly beaning, this is kind of a cool thing. Fact finding, ask questions at the beginning and throughout the appointment that give you information about the customer's needs and desires. That's why you ask it at the beginning. That's why anytime she says she likes something, you make a mental note. That's why we forgot to say when you're closing, if she is the hostess and she said, oh, she wants something for, dark spots. Oh, I remember you said that. Bless you. What would you like to take home with you today? And she's like, oh, I don't know. Hey, this was the thing that was for dark spots. You know what I mean? And when I'm talking about whatever, microderm or whatever, I'm saying, Sharice, this was the thing for dark spots. You know what I mean? I'm referring to that. That's jelly beaning. Long-term relationships are always the goal. Ask versus tell. Lead your customers to the same conclusion by asking them questions versus telling them. Bless you. The stars right there say if you get your customers to agree with you 4 times in an appointment, they're going to be a lot more likely to buy. How does your face feel? If you watch my video, I always say, how does your face feel? Doesn't
that was cute. Like 3 of you just nodded.
Nodded, yeah. But if you get them to agree with you, these things are going to increase your sales. But closing, yes, it's about what you say at the end, but it's also about all these other things. It's about asking questions, overcoming objections. Let's say their concern is they don't have money or whatever. If they don't have money, I number 1 offer payment plans. Number 2, I book that follow-up appointment and ask her if she wants to earn it. And then number 3, if she don't want to do that, then what I do is say, well, I know you really want this. Do you want me to contact you on payday? And I literally write up a sales ticket of what she's going to get. I give her the sheet and say, so she knows how much we're going to be buying on payday. And then I write it down to contact her on payday. Some of you just say, okay, I'll get in touch with you on payday. And then you contact her on payday and they don't get back to you. So does that make sense? It's just that follow through and those extra things that will help you increase your sales. Okay, that it goes somewhere after that, right?
Payday morning. Don't call them later after they've paid bills, because then they feel broke already. Call them payday morning.
Yeah. Try a soft sell, which means you've been talking about all the stuff that you love today, and I like what I get at once. So I'm going to show you some of the awesome deals, which ones would fit you best, blah blah blah. And then the hard sales where you actually ask them the question. So what would you like to take home with you today? You've got to ask them that's asking for the sale. It's not pushy, but you got to at least ask them. So that's a fun little thing that can help you. But once I finish the training, I'm going to have them do individual consultation practice.
I think that's really important. Yes.
Yeah, because I want you guys to practice, but we got 5 more minutes. And the last couple things I am going to go over are about the party, some other key things. This is really important. I will pass these guys out. A couple really important things. No, I already have one. I remembered it's in color here. Maybe not. I have no idea with it. Okay. A couple things that are really important about the whole party in general. We mentioned all the other important things. another super important thing is your excitement level and your passion and your energy. So get excited. If some of you, if you're doing your parties, you're like, sound like the Charlie Brown thing, you know, they're not going to be excited. They're going to tune out, right? They're going to tune out your enthusiasm, your attitude. But one of the things that really is huge and can increase your sales is this handout, positive question openers. This is huge. And when I learned to do this, it made such a big difference. Okay. Arlene Lanai says, I remember the first time I attended a class about positive question openers. The teacher said we should say 2 sentences / statements and then ask 1 positive question. What do you think about that? He also told us when we put 3 sentences in a row without a question, our listener is no longer listening. Did you hear that? When you put 3 sentences in a row, then without a question, your listener is no longer listening. So if you're just reading off a script, people have tuned out a long time ago.
Even if it's a rhetorical question that they don't answer.
Yeah, these questions are usually rhetorical. If you hear me talk, a lot of times they'll say, does that make sense? Or does that, you know what I mean? Those are rhetorical questions that they're not going to be like, no, I don't know what you mean. You know, like that type of that. But they're questions. And what happens is, you see the benefit in trying it. Use this technique with your family too. Talk about results. Did you realize every 3rd sentence paragraph was a question? It's been taught that you get more people to smile, laugh, and say yes, the more they will buy. When you're at an appointment and you just lecture, they'll only retain 20% of what you say. If you get them to interact with you by smiling, nodding, laughing, or crying, they will retain up to 80% of what you say. Use these following questions at your appointments and during interviews. My husband always gives speeches, talks using them in his business. He talks rave reviews. Dazzle your next appointment. So here are some examples of just rhetorical questions, all right? But if you guys can master this throughout your skincare class, they're going to pay way more attention. Did you get that? That if you ask questions, you know, even rhetorical questions, they're going to retain 80% of it versus you just talking, you only retain 20% of it. That's huge.
Class?
Throughout the whole class.
Oh, whole class.
Yeah, so I'm going back and just saying these are important things throughout the whole class. So could you get excited about it? Do you see the value in? Did you see the benefit in? Can you see the merit in? Wouldn't it be terrific if we could get rid of wrinkles? Like a lot of times they'll say, did you guys know that we age quicker here than anywhere else in the nation? Instead of saying, in Colorado, we age quicker than anywhere else. 2 different things, but it's a statement versus a question. Got it? Did you know that this, did you know that the skin around your eyes is 8 times thinner than anywhere else? You know, like, you get how to say, if you listen to me talk, I do it a lot. Does that make sense? Does, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Is another big one, that it's just a question that's engaging them. It pulls their mind back into what you're saying. These is very important, you guys. These are things that can really help you. Can you see how this would, blah, blah, blah. So do you see how that helps you?
Yeah.
And start really practicing that in your daily life. So, all right. I think those are the main things that I wanted to talk about. But the very last thing that I really, 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 really want you to do, and I would highly recommend those of you not watching or that are at home, is that you role play. In fact, those of you that are here, I'm going to make you stay for another 5 or 10 minutes and role play with somebody next to you. We are going to move the tables and start setting up for the skincare class. So I am going to make you guys probably move. But I want you role playing this because it's very important that you get this out of your mouth and get comfortable with the individual consultation. Okay? Here's the thing is it only gets weird if you make it weird. It only gets weird if you make it weird. It is. And if you go into it with the attitude of, oh God, I'm pushing into it, it's going to be awkward, then it'll be awkward. I want you to get comfortable. If you go into like, hey, did you have fun and having a good time and laughing and joking? It's fun. All right? Okay, so I'm going to shut down the recording, but I want you guys to do, remember your homework is, of course, to keep turning in your sheets. Those of you that are here and then not watching online, you need to you print off your point sheet. I will email out the recording with it. And then your 2 extra things that you get extra points for this week are 50 points for filling out your why, filling it out, send me a picture of it, and then talk to your director about it. I want a conversation, not a Voxer message. I want a conversation about it, okay? And then the other thing is your I story. Your I story, I want you, and you could send me a recording of this. I don't care. You can send me a Voxer message about this or leave it on my voicemail. I want to hear your I story. I want to hear your powerful I story, okay? And you get 50 points for each, all right? And remember, I want to hear from you. Are right, I'm going to end the recording. Let's say bye-bye to all of them. Bye.